Hello and welcome. EP1 here, bringing you a very exciting lesson on how to do multiplication and long division, which apparently has been lacking. So let's see, I want a brush that's big enough. This is perfect. Let's say you want to multiply a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number, and we'll just pick something random, like 725, let's say, times 44. Let's make it a little different, 46, just to have variety. All right, so the way you would do it is you would do it like this. You'd put one on top of the other, usually the bigger number on top of the smaller one, but it doesn't matter at all. It works fine either way. So now we start with this 6. So this 6 has to multiply all of these other numbers, and then after that we'll do the same for the 4, and then we'll add up those two numbers and we'll get our answer. So 6 times 5 is 30. We put the last digit, so the 0 and 30 here, and then we put a little 3 on top, just to like remind us that this gave us 30. Now we do 6 times 2, which is 12, and then we add this 3, so that's 15. So the 5 goes here, and then the 1 goes here, okay? And then 6 times 7 is 42. Plus 1 is 43, so now we do 43. First you put the 3, you would have put the 4 here, but there's nothing else, so we'll just bring it down. So now 6 times 725 is 4350. Now we have to do this 4. It's not really a 4, it's like 40 times all of these. So when we start with the 4, we're going to put our answers below the 4 here. And you'll see what that means in a second. These numbers also don't matter anymore, like we don't use them anymore, we're done with them. So we'll start with the 4. 4 times 5 is 20, so that's a 0 here, and then a 2 on top. And notice we put our 0 here, not here, and you just put it under the number that you started with. So when we started with the 6, we put the numbers under the 6, and then we go left. With the 4, we would start here and then go left. If there was another digit here, we would start here and go left. But anyway, 4 times 5 is 20, so 0, 2 on top. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, so that gives us a 0 again, and now a 1 on top. And then 4 times 7 is 28, plus 1 is 29, so we put the 9 here, and again we would put the 2, but there's nothing left, so that's it. And now we just have to sum up these numbers. Okay, so when there's a blank, that's like having a 0. You could even put in a 0 if you want, but 0 plus 0 is 0, so that goes here. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 0 is 3. 4 plus 9 is 13, so 3, carry the 1. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. So that's our answer. 725 times 46 is 33,350. And you can go on your you can go on a calculator or type it into Google and confirm that. In fact, sure, we'll do that right now. 725 times 46 and 33,350. So that is set. So it's pretty straightforward. Let's now delete all of this and go back to the brush, and let's do long division, which is a little bit more challenging but still quite straightforward. And let's do something like let's say 504 divided by 14. So notice the first thing is sort of how you draw it, or how you write it. The numerator, the big number, usually 504 in this case. Then we do this little, like, I don't know, curve and then straight line, and then you put 14 here. And it's pretty this is the standard way of doing it, so that's how it's been done always. So, and it's a good way of doing it, so that's what we'll do here. So the first thing you do is you start with just this first number here, the 5. And then the 5 divided by 14 doesn't work, or Rather, I should say 5 is less than 14, so it doesn't go into 14 um, at least once. So when you just have the 5 divided by the 14, that's not going to give us, it's going to give us a fraction that's less than 1, so we don't want that. We want something that will give us at least 1. So if we were just dividing by 4, we would do 5 divided by 4, that would work. But 5 divided by 14, 14 is bigger than the 5, so no go. So then we'll take both of these digits. So 50 now, 50 divided by 14. So 50 divided by 14 will give us at least something. And what will it give us? Well, if you think about it, you can do say, well, would it give us 1? No, it can go into it more times. Would it give us 2? 2 times 14 is 28, so that's not quite 50. How about 3? 3 seems better. 3 times 14 is 42, so now we're getting close to 50, so 3 is in fact the answer. But if you were to say 4, 4 times 14 is 56, and then that would be more than 50, so we don't do that. So what we want is a number that goes into, basically we want the highest number that 50 can go into 14, knowing that we'll still have something left. So 50 divided by 14 we said is 3, and since we had to go to this 0, since we had to go to this digit, we're going to write the 3 over here on top. Okay, and now what we do is we say 3 times 14 is what? Typically the numbers are easy enough, like 3 times 14 you could just say is 42, but if for whatever reason it is not, that's fine too. We do 3 times 4, 3 times 4 is 12, so that's a 2, and then a 1 on top, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And now, unlike in multiplication, when we added these, now we subtract these, okay? And so the 4 has nothing under it, so it can just drop down. The 0, if we take away 2, that doesn't work, so you need to borrow 1 from here. I mean, you can see 50 minus 42 is 8, but we'll just go through it very methodically. So when you borrow, you make this go less to 4. You borrow 1 of it, so from 5 to 4, and then this becomes a 10. So 10 minus 2 is 8, and now we only have a 4 left. 4 minus 4 is 0. I'm not going to write the 0, but you can. It's perfectly fine. So that's the first step. We did 50 into 14. We got a 3. We multiplied by 14. We got this 8, and this 4 drops down. And now we do the same thing here. So we have 84 now. I mean, if you were to do 8 into 14, that doesn't work. 8 is smaller than 14. So now we'll do 84 divided by 14. And then 84 divided by 14, again, you could like start guessing, maybe it's like, let's say 5 might seem reasonable. 5 times 14 is 70. So how about 6? And 6 ends up being the right answer. So 6 times 14, and we'll go through this step by step. 6 times 4 is 24. So that's a 4. And then this goes away. We carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and that's 84. And now when you subtract, there's nothing left. So 504 divided by 14 is 36. Okay? And that's the simplest long division. We could have picked a number that doesn't divide evenly, and that might be, that might be a little bit more advanced, but we could do that as well. But just 504 divided by 14 is 36. If we were to say replace it and say, let's say we want to do 505 divided by 14. So let's, oops, I need to switch to the brush. 505. So we know that's not going to divide evenly into the 14. Dang it, I need to. Alright, that works. Back to the brush. 14. So again, review, 5 doesn't go into 14 because 5 is smaller than 14, so we'll take this 50. 50 into 14, we said we can put a 3 here. 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And then we subtract, and now we get the 5 drops down, and 50 minus 42 is 8, so it's 85. 85 goes into 14 6 times, and excuse me, let's make this neat. So we're going to put the 6 on top of this 5. It doesn't matter, but just to keep track of things. So 6 times 14 is 84, we showed earlier, and we subtract again, and now you have a 1 left, right? Once you have a 1, okay, you could either say 36 is the answer with a remainder of 1, or you could say it's 36 and 1 over 14. So that's the answer, 36 and 1/14. Or you could go for a decimal answer as well, using long division. So if you want to do that, we would put a decimal point here and add a 0. And remember, 505 is the same as 505.0. It's the same number. When you do that, the 0 can drop down, and now you have 10 divided by 14. But 10 is still smaller than 14. So here we also put a decimal point. And since 10 is smaller than 14, it goes into it 0 times. So then we'll add another 0. That 0 drops down. And now 100 divided by 4, you can test out different numbers, and then you'll find out 7 is the closest. 7 times 14 is 98. Okay, and then you get a remainder of 2. So you can keep this up. You know, you can add another 0, drop it down. What's 20 divided by 14? Would go into it once, and so forth. But typically, you don't really need to know the exact answer. It's about 36.07. If you want the precise answer, it's 36 and 1/14. And again, you could check this out in the calculator to confirm, so we can do that. Let's so 505 divided by 14 is 36.07142857114. And then if you want to go even deeper, it starts repeating. Whenever it's 1428557, it's going to start doing that again, 1428557. But again, that's a little advanced, and we never really care about things that far. If you type in 36 and 1/14 into the calculator, like let's just say 36 plus 1/14, you get the same answer, which is what we got here. Okay, so that is long division. We also did multiplication. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Until then, this is EP1 signing off.